Welcome back everybody, Matt the Mad here, hope you're doing well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do a lot of movie reviews, movie news, anything in the world of movies, casting announcements, specials, discussions. And today we are talking about the new Netflix movie, War Machine. Now don't get too confused here. When I think of War Machine, I think of Rhodey in Iron Man, Rhodey, Don Cheadle, as War Machine in the later Iron Man and Avengers movies. So if you're a little confused, very different. One is white, one is black. That's how you start. Also, for some reason, Netflix maybe didn't remember, but back in like 2018, 2017, they had a movie called War Machine with Brad Pitt. So I don't know who slept on that one, if you know what I mean. But today we have a new movie called War Machine, starring Alan Ritchson, who a lot of people know as Jack Reacher, in the Reacher series on Amazon. But this movie is on Netflix. I sat down and watched this movie. I actually did 100%, swear to God, all the above. I did not see a trailer for this movie. I had it on my queue, on my YouTube, watch later, but I never ended up going and watching the trailer. So I really went into this movie completely blind. I really had no idea what this movie was, other than Alan Ritchson is in the movie. And I have to admit, I enjoyed this film. This is definitely very much an 80s to 90s throwback. I think someone compared it to Lone Survivor, the Mark Wahlberg movie of the 2010s, and like a Predator film. And I definitely get that vibe. Alan Ritchson does a great job here. He's our main character. He has some baggage at the beginning of the movie that we see an opening scene with. And he brings a lot of emotion to the role, but he also can bring that strong, action hero vibe that we get. And I like that we got more of the emotional Alan Ritchson in this movie. I don't know if this guy has range. Yeah, he's a Reacher, he's big, he's brawly, but he almost still feels like he's one note. And then even in the other movies I've seen him in, like Fast X, and I remember him all the way back in Aquaman in Smallville, and even then he was a dead fish, no pun intended. But here I thought he did a really good job. This was also directed by Patrick Hughes, who's done the Hitman Bodyguard movies with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson. He also did Expendables 3 with the one with Mel Gibson and Glenn Powell in there. I think he's a really good action director. The action is great, it's bloody, it's gory, very bloody, very violent at times. I like that they went all out with this. I thought the design of the actual machine is really good. Actually, the design of the machine reminded me of the machine in Terminator Salvation, in that gas station sequence. So that was like almost similar to the design of Terminator. Not the actual Terminator Arnold, but one of the actual machines. And I thought the action was great. There's a variety of action, whether it's on the land or in the water sequence. And then that's where you start to get a little bit of that Predator vibe, hunting down these humans, and in different situations, in the jungle, in the water, getting all muddy up and everything. This movie's only 97 minutes before credits, so it was a well-paced movie. It never felt boring or dragged or anything. My only negative with this movie is I wish we got more of the supporting cast. Not only with the actual, the crew that Alan Ritchson is with, except that one black guy that's on the stretcher. I think that's the only person we have to get some sort of development with. But also, like, we have Dennis Quaid in the movie. I wish we got more Dennis Quaid. I like Dennis Quaid. Jai Courtney at the beginning as his brother. I wish we got maybe even just some more flashbacks prior to that opening scene with his brother. And even the other military commander with Dennis Quaid, he's the same guy who played the villain in the last two Mission Impossible movies. And I thought it was, no offense to the actor, but the character in those Mission Impossible movies was very underwritten. And here I'm like, man, this guy can actually act. And I actually want to see more from him. So this was actually a good Netflix movie. Well, why was it a good Netflix movie, Matt? Because this was actually done by Lionsgate, who've done the John Wick movies. Oh, there we go. And the ballerina film that we got last year, along with other movies by Lionsgate. But just to give you an idea of the John Wick movies. So Netflix bought this movie after it was already made and shot and edited and everything, and they just put it on their streaming service. So just like a lot of Sony movies, like K-pop Demon Hunters, and that Taron Egerton movie, Carry On. There's going to be a shark movie out in April that was also done by another studio that Netflix bought it, but they already made the movie under their studio. So, hey, if Netflix wants to buy movies from actually good studios that actually make movies and, put out better quality on their streaming service, fine. And this is one example of that. So let me know, what do you think of War Machine? I would give it a 4 out of 5. Not a bad little action movie. Definitely a throwback of the 90s. Matt the Mad here, hit that subscribe button.